So, there's a lot of pressure hosting for the first time.
Where'd all your friends go?
I know. Cletus is down there playing pool right now. He was in a bad mood. Isaac got him in a bad mood, probably talking shit on somebody that Cletus likes. Normal stuff here. Always picking fights. Cody getting his house ready for New Year's Eve tomorrow. Full transparency, we're recording this on a Monday, so we don't know what's going to happen in the Monday night game going on tonight. So we're not going to recap that one.
The Lions probably won 31-17.
Yeah, I bet, because Dan Campbell is definitely, I mean, he gets pissed off at everything and anything, and they lost to the 49ers in the NFC Championship game last year, and that still is it holds a spot very angry in his heart. Well, I guess just me and you for intro music. Yeah. We got a solid bass, and I'm probably a tenor, honestly. High voice. Is there any kind of New Year's music? Well, there's that, like, I don't know the words to it, like.
Old Lang Syne.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
I just know that.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and ever brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old Lang Syne?
That was beautiful,
Thanks,
man. It's good to have your voice back on the podcast. Well, two-man podcast today. We got Carson. I'm Kean Kropp. The brother's back at it. No third brother, no oldest brother. But this is the Last Stop Sports Talk podcast. Today is Monday, as I said, December 30th, episode 63. On today's episode, we're going to start it off with our NFL Week 17 review. Not really going to talk too much NFL Week 16. Not going to talk really the first round of the college football playoffs because those were complete blowouts. That was not a good first round for the first year of the 12-team playoff. It was kind of rough to watch.
Not a good viewership experience.
No, it was not a good viewership experience. So we're talking NFL Week 17. Might mention a little bit of stuff from the week before, but not much, like I said. And follow that up with the Chris Collinsworth glaze. So we will get right into it. Talk about, in NFL Week 17, talk about the Chiefs, Steelers. Steelers at home on Christmas Day. Could they defend the house and hold off the defending champs?
Patrick Mahomes actually looked like what he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
He beat up on the Steelers 29-10, and honestly, the Steelers defense couldn't stop anything. And that was shown by the comments after the game by Cam Hayward and who was the corner?
Well, there was Cam Sutton. There's Beanie Bishop, Dante Jackson, James Pierre.
No, the safety, I mean.
Oh, Deshaun Elliott?
Yeah. He said some comments after the game like we sucked.
Yeah.
And
he said, like 10 guys can do their job perfectly, but if that one guy doesn't do it, then you're shit out of luck. But like,
what's so hard about defense?
Do you have any suspicions as to who that might be aimed at?
I don't know. I saw Cam Hayward answered back, but I didn't see what the comment was.
He obviously deflected it. He's a very good team captain, not going to point fingers at any one person, but just more of a you know who you are kind of thing.
If I had to take a guess, it would be some linebacker.
Yeah, you think?
That's my guess, yeah.
Patrick Queen?
Probably, yeah, because Travis Kelce was just standing wide open in the middle of the field all day.
Mm-hmm.
So, Steelers need to right the ship before playoffs, and I saw Mike Tomlin said something like, we need to get rid of this losing streak right now before we get to playoffs. So
2 games now? 2-game losing streak?
I think 3.
Oh, let me check.
Chiefs, Browns.
No, Chiefs, Ravens, Eagles. Oh, that's been a terrible stretch.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. We knew their schedule was hard at the end of the year. But
yep.
I don't know. Chiefs are looking good. Steelers aren't. So.
Yeah, that's basically all that happened. I mean, Chiefs are still struggling to run the ball. I mean, they've also been struggling to pass the ball with Patrick Mahomes. But, yeah, like you said, Patrick Mahomes in this game, 320 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, wasn't sacked at all. TJ Watt and the whole defensive line was just nowhere to be found.
Yeah, they didn't even make him work for it, really. They just gave it to him.
And in this game, Russ threw a pick, no touchdowns. He was sacked 5 times where Chris Jones wasn't even active.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
Yeah, Spags was cooking it up all day, just getting pressure on Russ like crazy, man. And now Xavier Worthy's finally kind of looking like he's starting to fill a role. Yeah. Like people are saying that he's trying to fill the Rashee Rice role. He's not Rashee Rice. They're completely different players. Travis Kelce, that's the part that, as a Steelers fan, if you are a Steelers fan out there, it just pisses you off because Travis Kelce just in the middle of the field standing
Yep.
Wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Patrick Queen misses a tackle here and there, and yeah, it wasn't good. JPJ, Joey Porter Jr. didn't play in this game. I don't know how much of a difference he makes. I mean, Justin Watson he just was, even on 2 catches, had 60 yards and a touchdown. He cooked James Pierre once deep down the sideline. Beautiful throw by Patrick Mahomes, and that's basically it. The Steelers never put up a fight.
No, he could have been talking about the corners actually.
Yeah, probably,
because he did beat up on Dante Jackson as well. So
yeah,
he's probably talking about corners actually.
Yeah, that's been a struggle for the Steelers all year long. They're gonna have to address that in the draft without a doubt.
Yeah.
Let's move on to how did the other AFC North team do in their Christmas Day game?
This was another terrible Christmas game to watch. Ravens beat the Texans 31-2. And by that score, you can tell that the Texans' only points did not come from their offense. So I think that a great summary of this game or a great takeaway, rather, I should say, is the Texans need to figure it out.
Yeah.
All year they've been underwhelming. They're now 6-11 against the spread. And it just seems like at the start of the season, everybody had such high hopes for them. C.J. Stroud's second year under DeMeco Ryan.
Whoa, DeMarco Murray.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's sophomore slump is what really happened. But
all credit to you. You called it out. Like beginning of the year, all credit to Carson. He said, I think Texans are going to slump this year. And
Yeah, they have. But it's not even like their defense should be good because of DeMeco Ryans. But the Ravens just make it look easy no matter who they play. They just kept handing the ball off to Derrick Henry, and he just churns for easy yards. And Lamar just throws when he has to. And in this game, Lamar did break the single-season quarterback rushing yards record, which is kind of cool to see.
I think he actually broke it like career. Like beat.
Oh yeah, that's what I said.
In his career, he said single season. In his career, past Mike Vick.
Yeah,
yeah,
which is cool to see. So.
And Lamar is 28, 27 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was lots of records broken this week.
Yeah.
Sometimes many times broken. The same one.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that. Like Brock Bowers.
Yeah. So Ravens are looking like a Super Bowl team. Texans are looking like a not off-season team.
No, they're looking like a team that should be going to Cancun, but because their division is so bad, the Colts are their best competition, and the Colts. We'll get to that game. That was an interesting one. That was great.
Yeah, it was.
But I said it to you while we were watching the game. Derrick Henry in this game looked spry, man.
Sure did. Yeah.
He was jump cutting and shit.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that.
He was feeling himself Christmas, I think.
Dude, yeah, it must have been. Yeah, Derrick Henry doesn't jump cut. In this game, he was juking people out. He was amazing. And they didn't have to do too much. I mean, he had 147 rushing yards himself and a touchdown. His long carry was only 20 yards, so the rest of it was just grinding out solid carry after solid carry. And as we've seen all year, Joe Mixon, I don't know, the offensive line is so bad on this Texans team, and it just kind of doesn't really – I mean, the teams in their division don't really have a pass rush to challenge it. Like, Colts don't have a pass rush. The Titans obviously don't have a pass rush. The Jaguars have Trayvon Walker, who's an athlete, not a football player. This Texans team, they're probably going to be the 4 seed, and everybody's wanting to be the 5 right now.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be that 5.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to the next game. This one was an absolute snooze fest. What was this game? Saturday? Was it a Saturday game?
No, this was I think it was Thursday Night Football on Prime.
Yes, it was. It was. Man, it was terrible. I kind of gave myself this game so that nobody else had to talk about it.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. But the Seahawks, they went into Chicago and they won, ground out a win to stay in the race for the NFC West title with the Rams. But they won 6-3. Start out with the Seahawks. I got a little takeaway here. I said, man, this team feels more like a 6-10 team than they do 9-7. I feel like every week I just Seahawks grind out a win. They're now 9-7, and you take a look back, and it's like, man, they don't look good doing it at all. And it's like, is it luck? Is it the only guy who's really produced for them? Their best wide receiver by far this season has been Cletus's guy, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and he's the only one who can really create separation. Tyler Lockett started off hot in this game. He had 3 catches and then did absolutely nothing else. DK Metcalf seems to be used more as a decoy this season.
Decoy Metcalf.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. Ken Walker is on IR now, and he did look great whenever he played, but just hasn't been healthy this year. Zach Charbonnet is pretty good at times, but at the end of the day, he's just a bruiser. This Seahawks team, if they do make the playoffs, they're not going to do anything. I can't imagine. Like, Geno, he's doing what he can. Like, I'll get him. I was rooting against Geno to start the year. That's no mystery, because Sam Howell's his backup, and I wanted to see Sam Howell play, obviously. But, like, Geno, at the beginning of the year, he was cooking, and he was looking really, really good, and I'll admit that 100%. It's not that he's playing bad right now. It's just that Geno's not a good enough quarterback to elevate a team that is struggling, like, around him. He's just kind of like, I'll do my best with what I have, and he usually does. But if you don't have a whole lot, everybody else is kind of down in the dumps. There's not a whole lot you can do. Can't ask him to be Superman, be Josh Allen. It's just not good for this Seattle team right now. And anything to add, Carson?
You said plenty. I really don't want to even think about this game because,
yeah.
I mean, Caleb Williams, it feels like every game is a repeat. Like, he has receivers, but he just can't hit them, or he's getting sacked repeatedly, sacked on first or second down, so he's putting, like, third and long, fourth and long, and it's just like you can't do anything with that because the defense only has to protect one thing.
And the time management is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. That's like my one takeaway from the Bears. I really do think Caleb Williams can be great. It's just not going to happen as soon as everybody thought it would. Like, the bright plays that he has are bright. He has some of the craziest throws on the run that, like, very other few quarterbacks can make. But then the holding onto the ball, taking sacks, and then just, like, scattershot misses are bad. And they happen more than they should, and more than everybody – seems like everybody expected. Everybody thought this guy was going to come in and he was going to be amazing. He was going to be Trevor Lawrence, which Trevor Lawrence isn't good, but it hasn't looked good. But we need to stop trusting these guys that are, like, universally trusted, because they seem to always bust. You set the expectations too, and not in a good way, not a good bust.
No. Bad bust.
Bust.
Premature bust.
Yes, premature bust.
Before week 5, they're busting.
Yeah, but everybody's disappointed.
Yeah.
Everybody. You're disappointed. Yeah, it's, I don't know. You nailed it right on the head. He has weapons. Yeah, sure, maybe he doesn't have coaches, but, like, at the end of the day, good receivers can usually get open without having to be schemed open. And these guys are getting open. You can see it. It's like everybody's getting frustrated because Caleb Williams he's hitting some great throws and he's missing some really bad throws. And Bears do have something to look forward to, I would say.
I saw this stat earlier today that was like showing how much of the blame on the Bears is not on Caleb Williams. And I do recognize that they like took stats that they wanted to make it look worse than it was, but it was just kind of funny because they said that, like, the deep misses are not, like, the receiver's not getting the yards and whatever is not Caleb Williams' fault, because Rome Odunze led the FBS in deep receiving, like, target or yards, like, on catches last year. DJ Moore was, like, number 5 in the NFL last year, and then last year Keenan Allen was number 1 on separation on deep routes last year. And then there was a bunch of other stuff, like, I think, like, the Bears O-line statistically is playing really good, because I think it said that the Bears O-line has, like, the 3rd longest time to pressure rate. Meanwhile, the Bengals have the 3rd worst, but Joe Burrow has been sacked, like, less than half the times of Caleb Williams or something like that. I don't know. There's some crazy stats. I thought it was interesting. So.
And time to throw this year, Caleb Williams has the 6th longest time to throw, if you're counting Deshaun Watson in there. If you take him out, he's 5th.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just he's been sacked 67 times. I mean, people are, like, kind of praising him too because he hasn't thrown picks. He's gone, like, so many games without a pick. He just threw one in this game finally. But, like, he's also not really throwing that many good passes either. It's kind of like the Kenny Pickett debate that we just kind of as a friend group had. It's like, he's not throwing picks. So it's like, yeah, sure, it's because he's missing everybody. It's like the defender has no idea that the ball is going to be thrown behind him too. It's like, I don't know. But Bears are bad. Seahawks are bad and think that they're good. So that's what it is right now.
Yeah. Talking about a game with more scoring, the Chargers beat the Patriots 40-7. And my 2 big takeaways for the Chargers here are, number 1, I'm kind of biased here, but Ladd McConkey is becoming Justin Herbert's go-to guy. his new Keenan Allen. Maybe he just kind of peppers him with targets whenever he gets in trouble or whenever he wants to get a first down.
No, yeah, that's another hit by you, admittedly. I was down on Ladd McConkey. I didn't think he could, I still don't think he can really do too much after the catch, but he's a separator.
Yeah.
He's a separator, no doubt.
And then my second takeaway for the Chargers is I think J.K. Dobbins is kind of the key that unlocks this offense. Because without him, Gus Edwards and Kamani Vidal just don't have the burst to, scare the defense with a run game. So it showed this game that J.K. Dobbins was back, offense flourished. Mm-hmm. Same way when J.K. Dobbins was out, the offense was struggling. They were getting less than 20 points a game.
Yeah, they were.
And for the Patriots, it's simple. Drake May just looks like a rookie quarterback still, and he needs more time to develop because he doesn't really have much of a team or help around him. He's got young receivers around him. He's got a whole bunch of rookie and second-year receivers that are learning with him. And also a young head coach is trying to learn with him as well if the organization continues to give him the chance.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Do you think it's time to pull the plug on Gerard Mayo?
I think they went back to Gerard Mayo because they want to keep the Bill Belichick culture.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they give up on it now, then it's a wasted year.
Yeah.
So I think you should let it ride if that's what you want. But if you want to go in a different direction, I think you should. I think Vrabel would be a great fit for this team, though.
Yeah.
So if they could get him, I think that would be great. But I've seen him linked to other teams that aren't the Patriots.
Yeah. He's now on the market because apparently his contract now ran out.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw he's open to talk to teams now.
I don't know. Yeah, you nailed it right on the head. This team needs weapons. Bad. It needs everything. They're just really honestly, a loss is a really good thing for a Patriots team right now.
Honestly,
it's such a good thing. They need O-line, they need receivers, they need just about every position on defense.
As of right now, they have the number 1 overall pick.
I don't even know. I haven't started really.
I saw they were mocked to Travis Hunter.
Okay. Yeah. That need him at receiver probably more than
need him
corner.
everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, you at least have Christian Gonzalez at corner.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
have Marcus Jones in the slot. I'd rather have a receiver.
Bender.
But, yeah, we'll get more into that as the offseason goes on. But, yeah, J.K. Dobbins he really does unlock this offense. He nailed it. All right, this game was super exciting. Broncos, Bengals. Broncos lost 24-30. That means Bengals stay alive.
Yeah.
Bengals stay alive. Now they need a lot of help. They needed the Colts to lose, which they did. Spoiler alert. They need the Dolphins to lose as well. And Dolphins won this past week. So now it all comes down to kind of week 18 because they need the Broncos to lose, obviously, one more time. They play the Chiefs, and the Dolphins are playing I can't remember. We'll get into that next episode. But anyways, Bengals takeaway. Damn, Joe Burrow deserves MVP votes, man. Here's his stats on the game because he was amazing. 39 of 49 passing, 412 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns. All 3 of those went to T. Higgins. This guy, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't think they have the money, or they probably don't even want to spend the money on 2 wide receivers, paying them over $30 million a year, and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But you can just see whenever T. Higgins is out there, he kind of takes some pressure off Jamar Chase. This was actually a bad game for Jamar Chase, and that's what the announcers were saying. Then you blink and look back at the game, and Jamar Chase had 9 catches for 102 yards.
And the drop touchdown.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow on the year, according to PFF, he is PFF's number 2 ranked quarterback, actually tied for number 1 with Lamar Jackson. In terms of passing grade. He has 35 big-time throws, 14 turnover-worthy plays. This guy's amazing. 42 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 4,641 passing yards. He's been pressured like crazy this year, and it doesn't even matter. It does not matter. This guy, it just produces week after week. He's scoring more than 30 points in most games, it feels like. And if he just had a winning team, which we can debate about that all we want. Yeah, or a kicker. This team would definitely be they have 10, 11 wins, and they'd be right there in the playoff hunt, right above the Broncos. So this Bengals team has been really just kind of drug by Joe Burrow everywhere that they've went. But Broncos are still in better position to win this number 7 seed, and in this game, in my opinion, there's really nothing else that the Broncos could have done. It was a great game from the Broncos. I mean, just up and down the board. I mean, Bo Nix started off the game. He was really just like doing checkdowns and stuff, doing Sean Payton. Easy stuff that Sean Payton set up for him to like just get yards after the catch with Marvin Mims, which he had a great game. 8 catches, 103 yards, and 2 touchdowns, including a crazy bomb from Bo Nix. 2 of them, I guess.
Yeah.
2 of them. One that was 67 air yards, like through the air. Bo Nix chucked it. That was a beautiful, right in stride. And then Bo Nix, this was to tie the game at 24 to send it to overtime. Time was ticking out. 4th down, Bo Nix had to roll out to his right on the run, threw a laser down to Marvin Mims in double coverage. He brought it down. They had to review it. It was so close. But Bo Nix, I mean, he started off this game kind of cold, didn't have to do too much, threw an interception, but damn, he picked it up, man. He made big throws when he had to. He was surprising the commentators. I can't remember who was on the call, but he was like, he's like, damn, I didn't know Bo Nix had that in him.
Yeah.
Whenever he chucked that ball, the 67-yarder through the air to Marvin Mims, the announcers were like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, he was knocked for his arm strength coming out of college.
Yeah, he was. He had arm strength there, that's for sure. But yeah, Marvin Mims' breakout game, we may never see it again. Who knows, man?
Probably not. Yeah.
Probably not. But Cortland Sutton did his thing, 5 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Jaleel McLaughlin actually finally for this team got it going on the ground. 10 carries, 69 yards. Team hasn't been able to run the ball all year long, so those screens have kind of been like an extension of their run game. But Broncos now are probably going to be playing backups of the Chiefs if the Chiefs are smart. We don't really know. Yeah. I mean, Chiefs may not sit their start. They're probably going to sit their starters, honestly.
I saw Carson Wentz is starting.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. This was honestly a great game. Did you watch any of this game?
Yeah, some of it, but what's going on with the Broncos backfield?
I don't know.
It changes every week, and this week it changed to Javonte Williams, 0 carries, 2 receptions, 0 yards. And then some games, I think it was last week and the week before, the first snap was Jaleel McLaughlin.
Yep.
Second snap of the game was Javonte Williams. And third snap was Audric Estime.
Yeah.
They bring in a different running back for every snap. So I don't know what they're going to do next year. I don't think they're going to re-sign Javonte. And I don't know if they're going to bring back Jaleel McLaughlin or not. This is
his second year. He was an undrafted free agent. Undrafted free agents get 3-year deals.
Oh, so he still has one more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be him and Audric Estime. And then
probably is. Maybe
Blake
Watson.
Don't do in the draft. Yeah, Blake Watson.
Blake Watson came in last week, 2 weeks ago. Looked really good.
Yeah. Tyler Beatty's still there, too. They were using him a lot before he got injured.
Yeah. I don't know. This is kind of a Sean Payton thing. He did this in New Orleans. Just like, you could clearly see that Kamara was the better back, but he just like constantly spelled him.
Yeah.
Mike Gesicki game, though. Crazy.
12 targets?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
For a team that Bengals seemingly cannot decide which tight end, much like the Broncos backfield, the Bengals can never decide which tight end they want to use.
It hurts that Eric All's injured now,
I
so
know.
that gives some help. But yeah. Still Drew Sample and Mike Gesicki and Tanner Hudson.
Yeah. Oh, Cam Grandy's another one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He had a touchdown the other week, I think.
Yeah, he did. But this was just a great game. If you had to pick, so there's now 3 teams alive for that 7th seed. We got the Broncos, we got the Bengals, we got the Dolphins. Who do you want to see? Like, ideally.
Definitely the Bengals.
Seriously. That's what everybody wants to see. Like, I don't know. It's just fun watching Joe. This is the best year of his career.
And that's coming from, like, Steelers fans.
Yeah.
Like, we want to see a division rival in the playoffs just because that'd be the best thing for the NFL right now.
It's so much fun to watch. You just can't deny it. Chase Brown, my guy, got hurt sliding down at the 1.
Yep.
I could have used that touchdown.
Then Joe Burrow just sneaks in on first down anyways.
Yeah. I think I heard rumblings that was if Chase Brown would not have gotten hurt, which forced him to take an injury timeout because it was within 2 minutes left. Mm-hmm. I heard that they might have worked it down to, I think, 10 seconds is the lowest they could have got it, and then kicked the field goal, which Cade York very well could have missed. Oh, that was an all-time doink that he missed in overtime. That hit perfectly on the pole. It bounced back to the 15 or 20. Hit that thing hard. But yeah, just very good football in this game, no doubt.
Cardinals-Rams.
Yeah.
Another pretty disgusting one. Rams won 13-9.
Mm-hmm.
And this was kind of like a battle of who could be worst again. Matt Stafford just relied on Puka the whole time. Cooper Kupp is kind of starting to disappear in his old age. And then on the other side of the ball, Kyler threw it a lot. 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 48 attempts. James Conner got hurt again in this game, so Michael Carter took over. He looked pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
And then Trey McBride was also a target hog on the other side of the ball. So, I don't know. It's good to see Trey McBride doing that because I'm a Trey McBride fan.
Yeah.
And then Marvin Harrison played pretty well also. But this game also it eliminated the Cardinals from the playoffs, correct?
Yes.
And then, so the Rams are now in?
Yes, yeah, they are.
Okay, so yeah, the Rams are in, Cardinals are out. Do we think the Rams can do anything in the postseason?
This team's so inconsistent.
Yeah, I know. I'm on the no side. Just because I think they're kind of like a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
It's like you run the ball with Kyron, and if that doesn't work, you throw it to Puka.
Yeah, I mean, I think they get the 3 seed because I think the Bucs get the 4, and the Bucs are probably gonna have a worse record than them. I would have to guess, and so that means they're gonna be playing, I guess, either the Packers or the Vikings.
It's first round loss, yeah.
Yeah, that's a first round loss. Because Matt Stafford, while he does like show signs, like one thing I keep talking about it, but one thing that this year has really shown me is that like the old quarterbacks look old.
Yeah.
You can tell like they've lost a step. I mean, Matt Stafford still delivers a great throw every now and then, but even in this game, 17 of 32, 189 yards, you could just tell like announcers once again we're talking about it in this one. It's like Matt Stafford just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
He's missing throws. Except whenever he throws to Puka. Puka's crazy.
Yeah.
Puka's got to be.
He's so strong.
Would you say he's top 5 receiver in the NFL?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Just because how reliable and strong he is.
Yeah,
even
seriously.
Contested catches. I mean, I know people say it all the time, like 50-50 ball is a 70-30 ball, but seriously, like if it's 50-50 between him and the defender, he's going to out-muscle the defender and get his hands on the ball at least.
Yeah, he is. You know he's getting at least something after the catch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Marvin Harrison, he did finally have a good game. His other like best game of the season was also against the Rams. Actually, that was the only other week that he went over 100 yards. But yeah, Marvin Harrison is clearly not the wide receiver 1 in this class.
Yeah.
It's the LSU boys cooking this year, man. But once again, yeah, Kyler had to try to do everything himself, and something needs to change on this offense. They need more weapons outside of Trey McBride because. In all reality, Marvin Harrison is not the best separator. Had a Zay Jones sighting in this game.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we said Marvin Harrison was like, he seemed slow coming out of college, but he somehow always got open. So he still seems slow, but he's just not getting open now.
Yeah. Imagine that. Corners, this is their job now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Pro ball or pro cornerbacks are better than college cornerbacks. There's no doubt about that. Speaking of a pro team just completely beating the snot out of a team that's kind of semi-pro right now, the Eagles at home, they're pissed off from losing to the Commanders last week. They won 41-7 against the Cowboys, and they didn't even have Jalen Hurts.
No
Jalen Hurts in this game. You can just kind of tell that, like, yeah, we're pissed off, and that's my takeaway for the Eagles. Were they mad that they lost to the Commanders last week? I would say yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
And this year, I love watching, like, petty, pissed-off football. It's so funny.
Yeah.
The Lions are, like, the kings of it. It just delivers such a message, too. I mean, like, we're better than you. It's not close. You want, like, speaking strictly about the Eagles-Cowboys, the Cowboys won the division over the Eagles last year. So this year, they're going to outscore them 75-13 in their 2 matchups. It's been crazy. They crushed them this year. And Lions have done this kind of pettiness all year. It just kind of delivers a message not only to that team that they're crushing, but also to just the whole league. I mean, it asserts their dominance. Also, we have to talk about it. Saquon Barkley becomes the 9th player in NFL history to rush for 2,000 yards in a season. He has 2,005 yards on 345 carries this season, which leaves Saquon with 101 yards from topping the Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson's record that has stood for 40 years.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
And they can't even say extra game because we're still a game before the extra game.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, no, they played 16 games now.
What?
They played 16 games now.
What? Right now?
Yeah. It's week 17.
Yeah, no, they've only played 16 games.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't say that like he got it because of the extra game.
Oh, right.
The extra game yet.
Yeah. I kind of like what I went searching because I heard there's been like a little bit. Eric Dickerson doesn't want his record to be broken. Obviously, I don't know. Here's what he said on Saquon Barkley threatening breaking his single-season rushing record. He said, quote, "These people who say records are meant to be broken, you ain't got no record. You don't have one. When you get those records, you want to hang on to them. No matter if it was in bowling and you had 30 strikes in a row, you don't want nobody to break that. The fastest mile ever. You don't want nobody to break that. Those are true accomplishments. You can always look back, and that record's been held for 40 years now." So, like, people, I feel like, are hating on Eric Dickerson a little bit for, like come on, like, just cheer on greatness. So, like, I would want my record to stand, too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Just, this guy also, like, yeah, obviously Saquon's working hard to try to break this record. Well, Eric Dickerson worked hard to set the record. It's like, I don't know. It's just kind of cool, though, what Saquon's doing. Just completely career revival, man.
Yeah, that's for sure.
He's looked amazing. And
crazy
just
what he can do with an O-line.
yeah, seriously. And just a little bit on the Cowboys. One question for you, and then we'll move on from this game. But will Mike McCarthy still be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys next year?
I saw they said yes.
Yeah.
I saw they said they're keeping him to give him another chance because he hasn't done enough to get fired, I guess.
He also hasn't done enough to stay hired, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I don't know. Here's a question for you.
Okay.
Is Cooper Rush better at commanding this offense than Dak Prescott?
I would say no.
Okay, what about before this game?
Nah, still no. I mean, Dak Prescott, I feel like Dak Prescott has the ability to at least kind of take over a game. Cooper Rush is just kind of
He's just a ginger guy out there distributing the ball.
He is, and he's good at that. He doesn't turn the ball over usually. But Dak Prescott, I feel like Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. I would say he's like, if you had to rank him, I'd say he's like between 8 and 13.
Yeah, probably.
So, I mean, you can't just replace that with a ginger quarterback.
That's true. That's a very good point.
I mean, we haven't seen Dak healthy for a full season. It feels like forever.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no CD in this game. And they also didn't sack Eagles' backup quarterbacks at all. Micah Parsons was non-existent. But one
Tanner
guy...
McKee.
Tanner McKee, yeah. I saw that A.J. Brown threw A.J. Brown threw Tanner McKee's first touchdown ball into the stands.
Way into the stands. He threw like 20 rows up.
Yeah, and he had to like make a deal with the guy. I didn't see what the deal was.
Yeah, he was like yelling at the guy up in the stands after he realized he was like, "I'll give you my jersey. I'll give you my jersey." And hand the ball back down.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he launched that thing. I saw the clip. Actually, I watched it live. He caught the touchdown. He was all fired up. So, boom, bazooka it way up into the stands. Ran back. He was celebrating, and then he got back to the bench. He was like, "Oh no!" So they ran over to the stands. And he was like yelling at the guy, like, "I'll give you my jersey."
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, good guy after all.
Yeah.
One good guy on this Cowboys team that really has showed up, at least the past 5 weeks, Rico Dowdle. At least 100 rushing yards in 4 of his last 5 games. Do you think he's a starter next year? Or is it going to be Ashton Genty time?
I think it's going to be Ashton Genty.
Yeah. I mean, props to Rico for doing this, but like, he's no Ashton Genty. If they had that opportunity to take him.
Yeah, he hasn't really done anything. I mean, he puts up numbers, but he doesn't look special at all.
No.
He makes nobody miss. He fights for no extra yards. He just takes what's given, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you there. Speaking of special,
this game. Man, there is something special about the Giants. They beat up on the Colts 45-33. Drew Lock does a lot with a little. Only 23 passing attempts, but he throws for 309 yards and 4 touchdowns. 0 picks. The run game didn't give him anything. Tyrone Tracy, 59 yards on 20 carries. But Malik Neighbors is really what carried Drew Lock here. He was open all day. And even if he wasn't open, Drew Lock just threw the ball up to him and gave him a chance.
Yep.
And Malik Neighbors would make it happen. 7 receptions, 171 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Wandale had another 5 receptions for 71 and a touchdown. Then Darius Slayton had the last touchdown. Yeah, Drew Lock, he didn't show anything before this game. He really came out of nowhere. Actually, in my one fantasy matchup, I was going against a guy that picked up all the quarterbacks on the waiver wire so that the guy he was going against couldn't play quarterback because he had Jalen Hurts in his roster still.
Yeah.
But he only had enough roster spots to leave all but one starting quarterback, and he decided to leave Drew Lock. And Drew Lock went off and beat him.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he was texting me. He was like all fired up. And yeah, it was funny. But Drew Lock, even though this is probably the best he could have possibly played, I still don't think this gives him a fighting chance for starting job next year. I mean, they'll probably have what they always call an open competition, just to say it's a competition. But whoever they draft is probably going to start, unless it's Shador or someone that needs some more work when they get him into the facility. On the other side of the ball, Joe Flacco. Old quarterbacks are looking old. 2 touchdowns matched with his 2 interceptions. 330 yards on 38 attempts. Jonathan Taylor tried to carry the offense with 32 carries.
Yeah.
My takeaway for the Colts, though, well, first of all, they need to figure out their quarterback situation because they actually do have kind of a team around their quarterback. But most of all, Joe Flacco loves Alec Pierce.
Alec Pierce, a breakout season.
Yeah.
He's been great this year.
Especially with Joe Flacco. Early in the season, we saw it. We saw it again this game. He just loves his white guys. Throws it to Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman, Kyle Grantham.
Yeah.
The 3 leading receivers. But no, this was a slugfest between 2 terrible teams, and Drew Lock had what it took to come out on top, I guess.
Yeah, he did. Alec Pierce, 35 catches on the season for 767 yards and 6 touchdowns. That's good for second in the league in terms of yards per reception, only behind MVS, of course, but wow. 21.9 yards per catch.
That's crazy.
He's been great, man. Yeah, he's even been on the receiving end of some bombs from Anthony Richardson, that one in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Alec Pierce has been great this year. That's exactly what I saw too. I was like, damn, Alec Pierce, man.
Yeah.
It's good. That's good to see from a third-year receiver who Nye Mitchell was honestly drafted to be his replacement, but he's like, hell no, watch this.
Yep.
But yeah, Giants fans, they kept panning to the stands towards the end of this game, and they were so pissed off.
Yeah.
They were so pissed. No.
They're just trying to get the first overall pick, and Drew Lock screws it up.
This moved him to fourth draft pick right now. Malik Neighbors, wide receiver 1 in this past draft class.
Definitely.
He's been amazing. 105 yards after the catch in this game, taking screens and slants to the house. It was amazing. But Raiders, they beat the Saints 25-10 in a game that really meant nothing to anybody.
Yeah.
But honestly, my takeaway, Aiden O'Connell, he's not terrible. He's a Cooper Rush type.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a good
He's a very good backup who's really probably not going to turn the ball over, and he's just going to make smart decisions. Amir Abdullah, big cock in this game.
Is he the starter next year?
He better not.
No, he's kind of old.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's pretty old.
If he's a starter, Antonio Pierce is going to get fired on the spot.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to be drafting somebody, but man, he looked good in this game. 20 carries, 115 yards, and then I think he left late in the game with an injury, so he could have even had more. He was great. Cletus would be going nuts if he was on this podcast right now because big cock. Amir Abdullah. But my question for you, lots of questions for you today because I haven't gotten to hear your takes really too much, but can Antonio Pierce hold on to his job long enough to see this rebuild all the way through?
I'm more so on the no side of this one, just because he's not a culture guy. I mean, he was already in the organization, but Raiders don't really have a culture. If they do have a culture, it's a losing culture right now.
Yeah.
They need to get rid of that. So I think if they do keep him, it's going to be because they want him to have the high draft pick and see if he can do something with it, with a good quarterback or whatever he may do. But I think it would be better off just for him to get a fresh start, new head coach. There's lots of good head coaches out there right now that are either OCs or DCs of teams. Ben Johnson's available. I've seen that the Lions DC's available. Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
We got all these guys. I think it would be kind of dumb to stick with Antonio Pierce because he doesn't bring anything to the table for your team. He's a culture guy that, like I said, has a losing culture. So
yeah, every time they pan to him on the sidelines, it looks like he's gonna cry. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a rough go. I kind of agree with you. I think that I don't think he deserves to have the job, honestly, but I don't think they're going to fire him because I think they're going to give him a shot with a quarterback.
Yeah.
A real quarterback. Because they had to know going into this year, like, oh, damn, I guess we didn't get you a quarterback, bud. Sorry. And because, I mean, they had the 13th pick. Bo Nix went 12th. That was the 6th quarterback off the board. And it's just kind of like, well, screw you. Do the best with what you have, and it just hasn't been good. But
they did do the best with what they had.
Yeah, honestly.
Brock Bowers breaks the rookie receptions record.
Yes.
Puka Nacua last year. What's going on with rookies nowadays? They just come into the league ready to roll.
Yeah.
Whether they're a 5th-round pick or the 13th overall pick, they're ready to roll. 5th? Was Puka 5th?
No, he's a 5th-round pick.
Yeah, 5th-round pick.
Yeah.
That's what I said,
He said 5th overall.
No, yeah, and having a tight end break the rookie receptions record is crazy. Because tight ends are notorious for not breaking out until their 3rd or 4th year in the league because they come on so slowly. And, I mean, obviously tight ends don't catch the ball as much as receivers do.
Except for this guy.
Yeah, unless you're in a very specific offense. So I think that really shows how great of a tight end Brock Bowers is in the receiving game. And he should be here for a while.
Do you think, another question for you, do you think Brock Bowers was already the best tight end in the league? I mean, George Kittle's also had a great year.
I'd say second best. Just because he can't block like George. I think George is better because of his blocking ability, and he's had another great year catching the ball as well. So
you and I nailed our tight end rankings right on the head, man.
Yeah,
George
what was
Kittle
number
won.
3? I think I had Trey McBride, which is also kind of looking.
It's looking
like
pretty good.
Yeah,
it's looking pretty good. Let me go. I'm really curious. I've pulled up right here. Okay, let's go to tight end. You went George Kittle, Brock Bowers, Sam Laporta.
Okay.
I went George. I can't believe it. I went George Kittle, Brock Bowers, Mark Andrews. What was I doing?
Wow. Yeah, those guys have looked really
Trey
good.
McBride was your 4.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
take that.
Yeah, but what a year for Brock Bowers. Honestly, my hot take about the Raiders. If Antonio Pierce can just kind of hang on, this team is closer to competing than you think.
Closer than the Colts or further than the Colts?
No, I said closer to competing.
Yeah, no, but in comparison to the Colts, are they closer or further away from competing?
The Colts are stuck in some kind of delusion that they think they are. They think they keep running it back with the same guys. They literally, in the offseason, we talked about this, they re-signed all the same players. That's literally what they did because they think that they're better than they are. The defense has problems, and it's only getting older on that Colts team. The offense, I would say, is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
But
the defense did used to be good.
It did used to be
3
good.
years ago, it was really good.
So they're the same guys, though.
Yeah.
It's like what the Buccaneers did.
Who's the linebacker that Zaire Franklin took over for?
Oh, Shaq Leonard.
Yeah.
Used to be Darius Leonard.
Yeah, 3 years ago. Yeah, that was good.
It was good. But now it's like whenever the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl, they tried to re-sign everybody and run it back with Tom Brady, and the defense was just old and looked like crap.
Yeah.
The end of Ndamukong Suh's career. But I think that I'm an Anthony Richardson guy, so that's a tough question because I think the offense can be good. They have pieces like Josh Downs is a very good slot receiver. If Alec Pierce can keep doing this, he's the perfect receiver to pair with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
And then you got in the intermediate field, you got Michael Pittman. Tight end wise, you have no idea who they're going to throw out there.
Kyler Granson isn't bad.
Kyler Granson's not bad. Mo Alley Cox has a game here and there. Every once in a while you get Alec Ogletree or something. Jonathan Taylor's obviously one of the best running backs in the league, and the offensive line is pretty darn good this year.
Yeah.
The defense though is said, it's rough. But I think this Raiders team is closer to competing than you think. You think Brock Bowers already a top 2 tight end in the league. Jacoby Myers is a very solid number 2 wide receiver. Now, they currently don't have a number 1 wide receiver. But if you can run some 2 tight end sets more often, Michael Mayer has proved even that he can be a solid option.
Yeah.
Running back, obviously, they need to figure out. But this is a very deep running back class coming in. Obviously, need quarterback. That'll be a first-round address. But also on the defense, I mean, Max Crosby is obviously a dog. Christian Wilkins was really good until he left 5 games into the season. Nate Hobbs is a very good slot corner. Bobby Spillane has had the year of his career.
Yeah.
I think this team is closer than it looks.
Tyree Wilson's good.
Tyree Wilson, he's not very good. He's not good. That's basically a slower Trayvon Walker. Same idea. But this team is okay, and if Antonio Pierce can just hold on by the seat of his pants, I think that he can see this thing through. Now, there's no guarantee with that, but one quick thing on the Saints because I'm it's like it was annoying whenever people were like talking about. I don't know. Everybody was super high on Spencer Rattler. He dropped to the 5th round. It's like, man, that's a steal. Watch out for that sleeper quarterback who should have never fallen to the 5th round. Spencer Rattler is the hidden answer. Yeah, nope. No. Give Derek Carr some respect, man.
Yeah.
He had this offense moving with MVS as his number 1 receiver and Taysom Hill, who was a quarterback, as one of his top receivers. So this Spencer Rattler has really, really looked like a rookie quarterback, struggled. And I don't know what the Saints are going to do because
they have lots of credit card debt.
Yep.
And, yeah, their future's dark, honestly.
Future is dark.
Their players are getting old.
Yeah.
Derek Carr's old.
Speaking of getting old, the Jets quarterback.
Oh, he is old.
Oh, my.
The Bills beat up on the Jets 40-14. Aaron Rodgers did break a record in this game, though. The most sacked quarterback in NFL history.
Woo!
Yeah, so that's something to be proud of, I guess. Josh Allen continues to build on his MVP resume. They didn't have any problem in this game. They could do whatever they wanted. Josh Allen could. I mean, he was running all over the place. James Cook didn't do a whole lot this game, but Josh Allen really carried. And then on the other side of the ball, my big takeaway from the Jets is they're another team that needs to figure it out.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
I'll do some research and figure out what they are against the spread this season, but it cannot be good.
Yeah, go ahead and look it up. I'll keep talking because, I got some things to say about – I was a big Aaron Rodgers hater to start out the year, and Cody's a big Aaron Rodgers supporter, and Cletus kind of was too. But, I mean, there were multiple reports coming out after this game saying that he benched himself in this game once they were losing so bad. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm not going to play anymore.
I think they had 0 points at the time, right?
Yeah, they had 0 points. He had thrown 2 picks.
Tyrod Taylor comes in, first drive, touchdown.
Throws a touchdown. And then he throws another touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah, obviously didn't make it close, but they weren't shut out, so that's good. Garrett Wilson is fed up too. There are reports saying that he might want to be traded if Rodgers is the starting quarterback next season too, which is not good because they brought in Devontae Adams, which is obviously Aaron Rodgers' buddy. He takes over any franchise that he goes to seemingly, but like Devontae Adams is like the Jets would be stupid to let Garrett Wilson walk because Devontae Adams is now 35 years old, 34 years old, I want to say, somewhere around there. And, like, it's like, that's fine, Garrett. Go ahead and leave because we got Devontae Adams. It's like, what, you're just going to build this team of old guys and keep it trucking? Because they're trucking the wrong direction.
Yeah. Jets are 5-11 against the spread.
Yeah.
Constantly underwhelming.
Feels that way, yeah. Stop putting them on primetime, NFL.
Yeah, I know. Aaron Rodgers was supposed to be this great savior for the Jets, and actually he's been quite the opposite. I think this team was better with Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, the defense was at least better because they had Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
Obviously Robert Saleh, he did some things poorly as the head coach of the Jets, but you could also argue that defense was one of the best of the league year after year because of him. And once he left, it all went to shit, man. It's so bad. Do you think, another question, I got a ton of questions for you today, but will Aaron Rodgers be the quarterback of the Jets next season?
Oh, I mean, they've already cleaned ship of like anybody that could have power over Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's true.
So
now it's his franchise. He owns them.
Honestly, it all depends on what he wants to do. He said that, I mean, there were so many rumors saying he was going to leave New York, and then he came out and said, no, those are all false.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think he almost has to go to another franchise for another fresh start.
Probably.
Because he's ruined this one.
He's burned it, yeah.
Keeping the same team, I don't think you can go from 4-13, 4 and whatever they're going to be, to a playoff team next year with the same team. I don't think you can just change that drastically.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, there's nothing if he goes to a new team, there's nothing fresh about that start.
No,
that's true. It's like taking a pizza. It's like, crap, we forgot to get the cheese. Like, we'll just throw some blue cheese on there. Like, it's not the same. It's already past its expiration date. I don't know, but Aaron Rodgers, it seems like bridges are being burned fast because this Jets franchise as a whole is just ready for some wins. As well as the Bills franchise, man. They went to the Super Bowl in that Jim Kelly era and lost all of them multiple years in a row. So my question for you, Josh Allen has looked the best he's ever looked. Are the Bills disappointed if they don't make it to the Super Bowl this year?
Definitely.
That's a disappointing season.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's goals for every team.
Yeah, you're talking about teams that are fed up and ready for wins. The Bills are ready for a Super Bowl win. If not a win, at least an appearance.
Yeah.
If they lose in the NFC or AFC Championship, they're going to be pissed.
Yeah, that's a disappointment. I agree with you. Yeah, because I mean, like, you've seen what Josh Allen has done this year with no Stephon Diggs. His number one wide receiver is Khalil Shakir. Dalton Kincaid honestly has not done very much.
Yeah, no.
He was expected to be the number one target as soon as Stephon Diggs left. It's like, well, we don't have receivers, but that's all right. We have Dalton Kincaid. But, like, Josh Allen has been amazing running the ball, throwing the ball with minimal help around him. The least help he's probably had since he made the step to be a great quarterback. And, yeah, I agree with you. Bills fans are ready. They're tired of everybody talking about how Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. They want to see him do something in the postseason.
Yeah. Which I was just talking about this with Isaac and some other guys today. The question was, because I was making the argument that Patrick Mahomes isn't a top 10 quarterback this year.
Which is true.
Yeah, I know. And they were like, okay, well, they're like, so you hate Patrick Mahomes? I'm like, no, I don't hate him. I'm just a realist. They're like, so if you were to start a franchise, you're telling me you would take 10 quarterbacks before Mahomes? I'm like, no.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah, I said, no, like, honestly, you would almost have to take him first because he's never injured. He's, like, the most proven quarterback that is young still right now. He's won 3 Super Bowls already. I said, you can make an argument for Joe Burrow, but he's gotten hurt too much in his career, so that'd be too much of a risk. And then I said the best argument would be Josh Allen, but it all depends on what you want to do. Like, Patrick Mahomes is safer, but Josh Allen's either going to win you the game or lose you the game.
Yeah.
So this postseason, he just has to not lose his team the game.
That's right.
Because he's going to do one or the other. He just has to make sure it's a win. His defense is going to help him out enough, I think, this year because they've gotten some help now. So he just needs to win the game and not make boneheaded plays to lose it.
Which he's been pretty good at avoiding those this year for the most part, which is why this is, once again, we've seen some great quarterback seasons this year. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. These are all the greatest seasons of these guys' careers.
Yeah. But
Josh
he
Allen
still makes some boneheaded plays.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
Some plays
no
are
doubt.
like, if you made that play like in a high school, basketball, the equivalent, you would get you get reamed.
You would be.
Because it's such a dumb play. Like, all those plays where he's like almost out of bounds scrambling, then he throws cross body to the middle of the field to someone that's like running across the field. That could easily be picked, or he could get laid out or something, but it just somehow works. So it's only a matter of time before something goes wrong with his offense.
Yeah, you're right. It really does. I mean, all season it's been on Josh Allen's shoulders, and for the most part, he's produced. They're 13-3 now.
Yeah.
I
think they're gonna get in trouble if they get behind.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they do rely on the run game a little bit. And if they can't run the ball with James Cook, I mean, this game they showed that they can do without it. That's because you're going against the Jets.
Woo.
So,
honestly,
I think if Josh Allen can get an early lead, then he'll be good. But if not, he'll make those boneheaded mistakes trying to be the hero to bring him back. So,
yeah,
it'll be exciting to watch nonetheless.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk about another shit game, but for a different reason. Not because it was a blowout, but because these two teams are relevant. Jaguars beat the Titans 20-13. This was like a battle for the higher draft pick.
Yeah.
Whichever team won actually lost.
Yeah.
Mac Jones still looks like Mac Jones, just a little more refined. Still super unathletic, but he he's accurate like he always once was.
Yeah.
Always was, I mean. But my biggest takeaway for the Jags is Brian Thomas Jr. continues to be the focal point of this offense. Whether it's Trevor Lawrence in there or Mac Jones in there, they're force-feeding him the ball, whether it's on touch passes, jet sweeps, slants, go balls, whatever it is, they're forcing him the ball. And then the Titans, once again, they need help.
Yeah.
I'm going to look up what they are against the spread as well because they can't be good. But whether it's Mason Rudolph in there or Will Levis in there, Will Levis loses the game in his own way, but Mason Rudolph just doesn't do enough to win the game.
Yeah.
Will Levis at least tries, and Mason Rudolph just like, he's a pillow princess of a quarterback.
Yeah, he is.
He just lets the defense do whatever they want to him.
Yeah.
And he didn't lose his team the game, but he definitely did not win it. Tajay Spears tried his best. Tony Pollard was out this game. I don't know. They need help for sure. I don't know what they're going to do. What do you think they're going to do with their draft pick?
Quarterback.
You think they're going to go quarterback?
Yeah. The Will Levis era is done. I saw that this upcoming week they're going to decide to play both Rudolph and Levis for whatever good that's worth. But, yeah, the Titans, we talked about it right before the season started, but they didn't try to rebuild over the offseason. Brian Callahan came in from the Bengals. He's like, you know what, this team's good enough I think we can compete. I'm going to bring in Calvin Ridley. I'm going to bring in Tyler Boyd, bring in Tony Pollard, try to rebuild this offensive line, bring in my dad to be the offensive line coach, one of the best in the league. And we're going to run this thing. We're going to compete in this division. But now they're 3-13, and none of that has happened. Because, I don't know, I feel like everybody except for the Titans, I mean, just like the Colts in that same division, they're almost like delusional. They think they're better than they are, or they did. Titans are now woken up, I'm pretty sure. But, like, I don't know why Callahan thought that he could, like, come in and just, like, take this team and just take him to the top in the first year. I mean, Will Levis, obviously, there was more hope that he was going to be better. No doubt.
Yeah. This run game is honestly good.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard is good when he's healthy. Tajay Spears is pretty good this game, 20 carries, 95 yards.
Yeah.
If they rely on the run game, which they try to do, and it works, then they can make it work. But pass game is just non-existent.
No, it's not. But, yeah, so that it's honestly better for the Titans that they lost this game, get a better draft pick. Jaguars, this is more for shits and gigs at this point because they don't need a quarterback. They're paying Trevor Lawrence so much money. They're just going to keep running it back with him. He's shown flashes at points, but Brian Thomas Jr. is quarterback proof.
Yeah, he's shown that.
He's crazy. What are they guys to spread this year?
You got any guesses? They're the worst in the league.
We talking Titans?
Yes, the worst in the league by two wins.
Let's see what we got. 16 games, so I'd say they're 3-13 against the spread.
You gave them too much credit.
Oh, 2-14.
Sure are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Vegas has loved them all year for some reason.
Yeah,
we talked about that. Yeah, Vegas has loved them all year.
If you would have just bet against the Tennessee spread every game this year, you'd be one happy sports betting man.
Yeah, I should have done that, man.
It's those Mayo commercials, I think.
Mayo
commercials just make people like, I think I'm going to root for the Titans here.
Dude,
they got to cover the spread.
I love those commercials. And I'm really sad that they're probably going to be done because Will Levis is now going to be a career backup after this. But Mayo game day be delicious.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But move on from this game. Panthers, Buccaneers. We all thought that the Panthers were going to stick around. Panthers have been looking good, but Baker Mayfield's been looking better. 48-14, they crushed the Panthers. Baker Mayfield threw 5 touchdown passes in this game. 359 passing yards, no interceptions. Bucky Irving has now completely taken over this backfield. Rachaad White didn't get carries till the end of the game. And Bucky Irving in this game went 20 carries for 113 yards. He's still averaging 5.6 yards per carry on the year. That's best in the NFL. Went over 1,000 rushing yards.
Nice.
I've been hyping you up, but I was completely right about Bucky Irving.
You're the running back guy. I'll give it to you.
Dude, I know my running backs, and Bucky Irving is one of those guys. He just looks amazing game after game. Mike Evans is now. Let me do a little stat check to see how close he is to 1,000 yards. I think it's 85 yards.
I knew it was I think it's in the 80s.
85 yards, and I was looking back through his just career log, and he had 1 year where he had 1,001 yards.
Holy cow!
So he cut it close in 1 year.
This would be his 11th season in a row, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but the Buccaneers were just rolling in this game. Jalen McMillan over the past few weeks has been a touchdown machine.
Yeah, I think that's now 5. Is it 6 touchdowns in the last 4 weeks or 5 in the last 3?
I'll find it.
Yeah, he's really stepped into that wide receiver 2 role. Great. I don't know if when Chris Godwin's a free agent, right?
I swear they just signed him.
Okay. Well, when Chris Godwin comes back, I think that Jalen McMillan will still have a role.
Yes, he'll be the third wide receiver on this team. Chris Godwin. Oh no, this was his. Yeah, this was his last season on his deal.
I thought he was a free agent this year.
Yeah, he's unrestricted free agent.
Yeah, I don't know that they'll bring him back.
He looked really good to start out the year, but now he'll be 29 years old, coming off another brutal injury. I don't know, because, if Jalen McMillan keeps doing this, he now has 6 touchdowns in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
and at least 51 yards every single week. He's been crazy, and it's honestly good that he's taken some pressure off Mike Evans. It's kind of like helping him get this record. Devin Culp sighting in this game.
Yeah.
3 catches for 52 yards.
Yeah, the Washington boys.
Yeah. This guy, 7th-round pick out of Washington, he ran the fastest 40-yard dash out of the tight ends this year in the draft. Bucky Irving added another 77 receiving yards as well. But
don't forget about Payne Durham,
man.
36 yards of his own and a touchdown.
Yeah, and Ryan Miller, man.
Wow.
But yeah, this team, the Falcons are I'm not even mad that the Falcons have kind of flamed out. Because I love watching Bucky Irving. Baker Mayfield has his pizzazz back. He's got his fire back, and that's always fun to watch. But Bryce Young, he didn't even play terribly in this game. I mean, he took some sacks, which is not ideal, but I mean, there were no turnovers by him, no interceptions. He threw for two touchdown passes. Chuba Hubbard is now on IR for the rest of the year with a calf injury, I want to say.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Is Bryce Young the starter week 1 next year?
Yeah. I think he's earned it.
I think so too.
Because quite the turnaround. I mean, I'm gonna give some credit to Dave Canales because he seems to do that. This is now the 3rd quarterback that he's kind of turned around their career. Mm-hmm. Geno Smith first, then Baker Mayfield. This was a revenge game, I guess.
Yeah.
And now Bryce Young, who is at least looking viable and worthy of another look in his 3rd year. Adam Thielen, I don't know when he's gonna quit. 5 catches in this game, 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's 34 years old for anybody who's counting.
Wow.
Yeah. And
that's old.
Yeah. And this is another team that just needs a lot of help still. And it was just impressive that they were even able to compete over the past 6 weeks or so, or whenever Bryce started starting again. But this was a little wake-up call, and the Buccaneers really proved that they belong in the playoffs, without a doubt. Moving on to our next game, Dolphins-Browns. They got a win when they had to. The Dolphins did, and they didn't even have Tua. They won 23 in Cleveland's house. But the Dolphins, I don't really understand the Dolphins this year. It's been confusing all year. Basically, all the Shanahan offenses have kind of struggled for the most part. I mean, because I guess the uber efficient, blazing fast running back suddenly can't run the ball all year.
Yeah.
You can't get Mostert going. You can't get Achane going. Jalen Wright, the rookie, hasn't even been good. What the hell happened? I don't know. They've had to rely on short passes to Tyreek Hill and Jonnu Smith, and then yards after the catch all year, which has worked at times. Obviously, they're 8-8, so they've kind of won when they had to, but for the most part, it's we just talked about it. If it comes down to the Dolphins, Bengals, and Broncos, we all want to see the Bengals because this Dolphins team hasn't really been fun to watch. But Tyler Huntley did come in, and after a rough few games where he had to fill in for Tua earlier in the year, Tyler Huntley looked like his Pro Bowl self.
Yeah, he was efficient.
He was
22 of 26.
He was. And then on the Browns side, the Browns stay Browning, man. I mean, just bad decisions from the front office down. I mean, Kevin Stefanski is not as good as everybody hypes him up to be. He never should have won the Coach of the Year last year. I've already mentioned that multiple times, but poor Nick Chubb is now out again. He might have played his last game in a Browns uniform. For some reason, they have some kind of weird obsession with DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. They keep throwing him in there, and I don't understand it. He never looks good. He looks good in the preseason, but sure, you're playing against guys who are probably going to get cut. Myles Garrett always gets hyped up for pressures and stuff, but if the rest of the team, the rest of the defense is chock full of big names, they just consistently disappoint. Then what do you have? You just have a bunch of expensive names on your team who are underperforming. There's something bad in the water in Cleveland, and they need I know that they seem to always be rebuilding, but they need to tear it all down again and start over.
Yeah, when Jerry Jeudy is your offensive superstar, you know something's wrong.
Yeah.
And they're at a point where they know something's wrong because Jerry Jeudy's their offensive superstar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nick Chubb was out. He's not his former self this year, partly because the O-line's terrible, I think.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like you said, they just keep going back to DTR. And not only us, but Browns fans have seen enough. I don't have any reason to hate the Browns because they've never been good. So it's like, why would I hate them when they're terrible?
Right.
But I was watching this game with Browns fans, and they were like, man, this team is just dog shit. This is something else. So I don't know. Their other team's got to figure something out.
Yeah.
I don't think they're as bad against the spread as these other teams, but
yeah, I don't think Andrew Berry, their GM, should still have a job, in my opinion. If you're bringing in Jerry Jeudy and then paying all that money up to him, I mean, I know that he's been their number one receiver, but you know that he shouldn't be.
I take that back. They're 4-12 against the spread.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. The Browns are a team that rumblings have been that they're going to draft a quarterback too. Try to cut Deshaun Watson. And
I saw they moved around his money.
Yeah. I mean, because that was probably the worst contract in NFL history. Yeah. Of course, it was the Browns that did it.
Yeah.
But so they'll be making a lot of moves in the offseason, I'm sure, whether that be in the coaching staff or we don't know. But Browns stay Browning.
Yep, that's for sure.
This was an exciting game. The Vikings, Packers. Vikings really pulled out ahead to start off this game, and they ended up winning 27-25 after a late comeback attempt by the Packers, scoring 15 points in the fourth quarter. But Sam Darnold, man, I know that I haven't really been a hater of Sam Darnold. I've just kind of been a questioner. Like, how much of it is Kevin O'Connell and how much of it is Sam Darnold? But, like, Sam Darnold keeps impressing me, man. I don't know what it is because, it's never – Sam Darnold has never done anything like this before.
No.
And now he's being asked to – it's not like they're trying to hide him out there. He threw 43 times in this game for 377 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, obviously you have the trust of your coaching staff and your offense. If they're letting you go out there and throw for over 300 yards seemingly every week, especially lately, he's been amazing.
Yeah, he actually has. And like you said, he came out of nowhere, and now he's earned himself a contract – if not with the Vikings, and definitely somewhere else. I've seen the teams value him like higher than these other quarterbacks, like the
Brock.
Purdy? No.
Oh, okay.
Who are the backup quarterbacks that are free agents?
Oh, you got Gardner Minshew. You got.
I basically saw the teams value him as like a for sure starter, so I think he's gonna get for sure starter money. And I think it's going to be with the Vikings, honestly. I think the Vikings bring him back. He's led them to, what are they now, 13 and 2. 14 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, so I think J.J. McCarthy's going to continue to learn under him, even though probably shouldn't learn under Sam Darnold.
Ooh.
Now I think you should. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
He's blossoming, really.
He's been through the ups and downs of an NFL career, and he's seen it all, man. I mean, he would be a good guy to actually listen to because – J.J. McCarthy started off his NFL career with a down, getting hurt immediately. And now, I don't know what you do with J.J. McCarthy. Because, obviously, they're probably going to pay Sam Darnold. I wouldn't imagine they go any more than 3 years is probably the max.
Yeah.
But, like, I would say, I don't know, you can't, like, what was I going to say? You can't.
Oh, Kirk Cousins.
Oh, okay,
I saw they value Sam Darnold over Kirk Cousins.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Sam Darnold has looked so good that, like, you have to – there's no way the Vikings let him walk. And if he looks bad next year, then that's okay. They have J.J. McCarthy in the wings to give him a shot. But, like, I feel like there's still some volatility there, even though he's looked so good. Obviously, the team is buying in. This team is 14 and 2. But, like, he's not going to get the Kirk Cousins contract.
Yeah, no.
Like, this team is – they're still kind of – they're ready in case he kind of poops out next year and defenses figure him out. This is another game where Jordan Love didn't have to do a whole lot, which is like confusing to me because they were down and they still only let him throw it 30 times. 19 of 30, 185 yards and 1 touchdown. Josh Jacobs didn't. I don't know if they kind of pulled him early because they were trying to kind of save him for the postseason because he's had a lot of carries this year. I don't know, but this was just a weird game for sure, but a good win for the Vikings team who are now still in contention for getting that number 1 seed and for winning the NFC North, which all comes down to next week.
Vikings are 11-4-1 against the spread.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, best in the NFL.
Wow. Huh, that's pretty darn
Sam
good.
Darnold continues to prove the haters wrong.
Yeah, he does.
And Justin Jefferson likes him too.
Yeah.
So that's huge praise. And if your receivers are bought in, then you have a better chance of coming back and being the starter. So
yeah,
I think if they lose first round of playoffs, do you think they still bring him back?
Yeah. I just think that really lowers his money that he's going to get.
Yeah.
But I don't imagine Sam Darnold wants to go anywhere else because this is the only place he's been good. It's like, no, I'll stay.
He goes back to the Jets.
I've heard about that. It's like, there's no way. Why would you?
Yeah.
There's no shot. Speaking of basically no shot, the Falcons basically have no shot to win the NFC South now. They lost to the Commanders 24-30, but damn, what a game.
This was a great game to watch.
What a game, man. Start off with the Commanders because they won. You just can't hate Jaden Daniels.
I love this
That's
guy
your guy,
so much.
man.
I know, yeah. Not only is he great at football,
yeah,
and he's like, he seems to be great in interviews. Like, he's giving all glory to God. You know, he's just like saying how much fun
very
he's
humble.
having. Yeah. Even during the game, like he takes a big hit or something, and he's like getting held back up, and you can see like through his face mask, he's like laughing and smiling at the defenders, and like always making jokes with them during timeouts, and just little things like that. It's so great to see, because it's like kill him with kindness, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's so nice to these guys, and he's laughing, and he's actually having a good time.
Yeah.
And then he just dogs on him too. He doesn't do anything spectacular, but the most impressive part about him to me is how he's already playing like such a veteran.
Yes.
Because these commentators always talk like, you know, rookie quarterbacks, they need to learn that you just take the easy throw, which he's already learned that. He's taken what's given him seems like, I don't have the stats in front of me, but his average depth of target has to be like
7.9.
Yeah, it seems like he's always throwing behind the sticks and he's getting like just 7-yard gains at a time, just marching down the field. He looks for the big throw like once or twice a game. If it's there, it's there. If not, then he'll just, you know, take what's given to him. And I think that's a reason why they can make a Super Bowl run, because he's so efficient with the ball and they're so two-dimensional. They can run the ball and throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And his running ability himself opens up the run game for the running backs. He's always taking a defender with him for the option. And also kudos to him because he broke the single-season rookie running back rushing record.
Or quarterback rushing record.
Yes.
Yeah. You were so close. That was a lot of stuff to put together.
Yeah, that.
Which is all out. Which was his RG3.
RG3, yeah.
On the same franchise.
Yeah. Which I didn't think he was rushing that much this year. It seemed like defenses would always shut him down.
Put a
He and I
spy.
sit there and watch the games, and it's like, seems like every time he keeps himself, he's running out of bounds to the line of scrimmage. But this game, he had some designed runs, and he was getting loose. And it was great to see as a Jaden Daniels fan.
Yeah, the whole overtime drive was all him running. He had 127 rushing yards in this game to go along with 227 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, and one pick in this game. But
it was a boneheaded pick.
It was a boneheaded pick, yeah. You'll have those. I mean, especially with a rookie quarterback. But Jaden Daniels on the year is PFF's number 5 ranked quarterback, right ahead of Sam Darnold, actually.
Wow.
He doesn't exactly have as many. He's got more big time throws than Jordan Love, but I won't get into that. But yeah, he's been just very solid. 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 3,530 yards, and then on the ground, what did he have? Let me pull that up here real quick.
I think 16 carries for.
No, I mean on the season. On the season, he's got 864 rushing yards now at a clip of 6 yards per carry. But he's been amazing, and you just can't hate this guy. Yeah, he's just so calm under pressure.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
and that's what the commentators glaze him for as well. It's like he is the calmest in the biggest of lights, it seems.
Yeah.
Like the later the game gets and the more pressure he's under, the calmer he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't panic in the pocket. He stands in there and takes what's given to him. He trusts his receivers to get open eventually. And yeah, the big moments he's shown he can shine. He beat the Bears I won't even count that because it was a Hail Mary, so it's locked. But he marches down the field against the Falcons and beats them. He marches down the field against the Eagles, beats them. He shows up when the lights are brightest, as they like to say, praise Patrick Mahomes for.
Yeah. But yeah, just a great game. And then on the Falcons side, Michael Penix Jr. he didn't get into his groove as quickly as I thought he was going to. As soon as he came in, I mean, he's still settling into the NFL game and just his second start. So there are some bad misses. There were quite a few in this game, but the wow throws are crazy.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, He also showed up when the lights were brightest.
Yeah. Oh, my. That throw.
Forced the game to overtime. Laser down and away from the defender. That was a great throw. But to go against him, he wouldn't have even been in that situation if he would have hit the easy throws that he should have.
Yep. Yeah.
Had some accuracy issues.
He did.
But
whenever everything is right, the dude throws missiles into pockets.
Yeah.
There was one where he almost got, like, this. Michael Penix Jr. right now, two games in, is looking like he throws some beautiful hospital balls.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Like, he's just
Drake
looking.
London.
Yeah. He just about killed Kadero Hodge on one of those at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful throw. He just, like, he wants to fit it into that pocket where only his receiver can get it. And he does have that ability to do that. But they're just that the receivers are going to take shots.
Yeah. I think this was a great display of two future NFL star quarterbacks.
Yes, I agree. I do, like, obviously Jaden Daniels has already figured it out. He's going to be your rookie of the year. He's if there weren't such great quarterback play this year, he would be an MVP candidate, basically like last year.
Yeah.
But Michael Penix Jr., I do think he's going to figure it out. He's at least shown those flashes. And then Lions 49ers happens tonight.
Yeah.
So
I already told you to score that one, 31-17 Lions.
Lock it in, folks.
Yeah,
lock it in. All right, let's glaze some dudes. Chris Collinsworth, glaze. We'll each do one offensive player and one defensive player.
Okay. Well, I'll start with offense. You can start with defense. So, as much as I would like to glaze Jaden Daniels, I feel like I've already done that enough in all my draft analysis videos, and
he's amazing. He deserves it.
Yeah, we could go on and on about how great he is and how he throws across the middle and slides like people thought he couldn't, but I'm going to go with the one and only Drew Lock.
Yeah.
Drew Lock. People have no faith in him.
Yeah.
He's had terrible games so far this season.
Yeah.
In this game, when they need him the least, he comes out, throws for 309 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's looking like he's meant to be there. And he's looking like he's trying to force the Giants back far enough in the draft where they can't get a high-quality quarterback so he can earn himself a job. So not only is he getting this organization wins, he might be earning himself a job by ruining their draft. I think he deserves some glaze for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
He knows the fans are going to hate him for this.
Yeah.
He doesn't care, though. He's just out there balling out.
Yeah, and the fans definitely did hate him. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll start off with a defensive player. I didn't really want to. I just want to mention Zach Allen in this game had 5 sacks on Joe Burrow. This crazy game from Zach Allen, the defensive tackle of the Broncos, but they didn't really win. So I mean, if they would have won, I would. I mean, obviously he did his part, but I'm gonna give it to Derwin James, man, the captain of the defense of the Chargers. In a post-game interview with Justin Herbert, Herbert's a very humble guy. He hates the cameras. There's a lot of videos that come out, just like funny videos of him. Like I remember back whenever Chase Daniel was his backup, Herbert would try to hide from the cameras in training camp, put his jersey on Chase Daniel to think that cameras are, and then Justin Herbert runs onto the field somewhere else. But Justin Herbert's a very humble guy, and they told Justin Herbert that he had broken some kind of record, and Justin Herbert's like, that's pretty neat, basically. And Derwin James just going crazy beside him at the interview. Like, just a good team guy. Finally got something to believe in. In this game, he had 2 sacks to go along with a few tackles here and there. You can just tell that Derwin James has been injured for years, and this Chargers team has been bad for years, but they've been down in the dumps, and it's just kind of good to see that they can all kind of rally around their captain on a defense that has been amazing this year. Derwin James, I feel like he deserves a little shout-out. Maybe he hasn't been great. Maybe he wasn't great in this game, but on the season, he's been exactly what the Chargers need, a leader to lead this Jesse Minter defense.
So for my defensive player, I think I'm going to go with Tyrell Dodson.
Yeah.
He was all over the field in this game. He had 15 total tackles, an interception, pass defended, and 8 of those tackles were solo tackles. He was also pressuring the quarterback a lot. It seemed like he was always forcing him out of the pocket, or if he was out of the pocket, he was running him down. And he was what really solidified this Dolphins defense, which hasn't been great in the past, and got the win over the Browns when they really needed it. He came in from the Bills this season And he's really elevated this defense the whole season, so I think it's time that he deserves
this is
some
his
praise.
third team on the year.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
They just keep throwing this guy around everywhere. For my offensive player, I'm gonna go with. We always hype up Derrick Henry, so I guess I'll stay away from Derrick Henry. Give me Puka Nacua. I could have gone Malik Neighbors, but you already gave praise to Drew Lock. So we're going to spread it around, and we'll go Puka Nacua because he has seriously taken over as the number one receiver on this team after Cooper Kupp. There's always they talk about how they get coffee in the mornings together. They get breakfast. Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp, that is. But
they're cute.
Yeah, but
they're going through a breakup.
Yeah, going through a breakup. Puka Nacua is a football player.
Matthew Stafford is having an affair.
He's having an affair, and it's a big one.
Yeah.
And everybody can see it because this Puka Nacua guy is one of the hottest girls you've ever seen.
He does have luscious locks.
Everybody wants to have him.
Lord Farquaad type hair.
Yeah. But just an amazing season, young career for Puka Nacua. Whenever he's out there, you know he's going to produce. In this game, 10 catches, 129 yards. The number 8. Oh, wait, that's not. Hang on. On the week, PFF had him ranked as the number. Lost him. Hang on. Number 5 receiver on the week. But yeah, he's been amazing this year.
Yeah, he's been
clear wide receiver 1.
Yeah, he's been a great go-to target again when people thought that maybe it was just a fluke season and he was, feeding off of the Cooper Kupp decoy. Mm-hmm. But now he's really showing that even when teams do treat him as the one, he can still dominate as the one.
Absolutely. So that's all we got for this episode 63. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, feedback that you would like answered on the podcast, please comment down below or reach out to us at our email, laststopsportstalk@gmail.com. Any last thoughts or comments, Carson?
I'm good. It's good to be back.
Yeah, we'll be back for one more episode. We'll be previewing College Football Playoff Round 2. That actually starts on New Year's Eve with Carson, your Penn State.
Oh, yeah.
But that's all for now. We will catch you on the next one.